Oh man, oh man, oh man. YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We another Washington Commanders video. And in today's video, I'm coming on here with a video where we're going to be talking about some breaking news that just took place and training camp recap all in one. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to follow me on my social media links down below in the description, and cop some Wild Guy Talking Sports merch. Let's get straight into today's video.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Louis. I'm about to fuck this joint up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Damn. When I hop in the booth, they fuck with my sound. Put that shit on the scale, we taxing pound for pound. Nigga keep this and put them in the ground. My shit in your ear and tell me how it sound. A nigga too smart can catch me out of bounds. Let's go. That bitch got cooked like some chicken. And he lying, he not rapping what he living. Yeah, that's my cousin, but this shit a business. Work that bitch out just like we doing fitness.
So, breaking news just came out. The Washington Commanders, Ron Rivera, has decided to fire defensive line coach Sam Mills III. And man, finally, bro. Like, I hate to see a man lose his job. You know what I'm saying? I never want to see, a person down or whatever. But, like, the dude sucked. He's trash. He's not a good defensive line coach. I'm glad he's gone. We all know how bad Sam Mills III was. Like, typically in a fan base, you got one side of the fan base on one spectrum and the other side of the fan base on another, and that's what creates debate. But one thing I can say we all agreed on as a whole entire fan base is how poor Sam Mills III was as a coach. So that's one thing that I know we're all celebrating together today. So let me read you the actual report. So breaking news, head coach Ron Rivera has fired defensive line coach Sam Mills. Jeff Zegnia, I know I said his name wrong, and I know once I get familiar with him, I'm going to say his name right eventually. But he will fill in as the new defensive line coach. And it's no surprise. It's no surprise. Me personally, I think the writing on the wall was when we decided to give Ryan Kerrigan an internship in a way to see if the defensive line, coaching in general is something he wants to do, right? I think that was the writing on the wall for Sam Mills. Now, I don't know if Ryan Kerrigan is going to replace him eventually, but I have a strong sense that could be. Because now you fire Sam Mills III, you're giving Ryan Kerrigan a sort of an internship, and maybe they promote him at the start of the season or maybe next season or something like that. Maybe. But again, I'm glad we finally let go of Sam Mills, man, because he was not getting the potential out of Montez Sweat and Chase Young and just the whole defensive line as a whole, but especially those two. I mean, and he basically told on himself, and the joke that we always like to go back to is him showing these guys Ryan Kerrigan film. And I love RK to death, but he's never possessed the athleticism, the talent that these two guys can reach. And I just think he was doing a poor job of getting these guys to where they need to be, or they could reach. And hopefully the next defensive line coach can, man. It was some talk about maybe Warren Sapp, which I highly doubt. Bruce Irvin, I believe, is a guy that he said he wanted to shoot Chase Young or something like that when we first drafted him. Ryan Kerrigan's obviously a new name, but we'll see how that plays out. But it's no surprise, bro. It's no surprise at all. He's not a good defensive line coach. He's not, and we've seen that time and time again for the past couple of years. So I could make a whole video in itself talking about that, but I do want to jump straight into the training camp recap because I want to cover both things. But again, Sam Mills III has been fired per Ron Rivera, so that's something that we have to keep an eye on now. Who's going to be the new defensive line coach long term? Right now, it's going to be Jeff Z. I'm going to call him Jeff Z until I learn how to pronounce his name. Will fulfill those duties as of right now. But Ryan Kerrigan could possibly be in the future plans. Warren Sapp is a far-fetched one, but you got to throw that name in there because he was there at training camp or at mini camp or at OTAs. and some other names, but I'll keep you guys posted once we figure out everything with that. But again, Sam Mills III has been relieved of his duties. Now let's get into training camp recap. Man, I'm fired up. Shout out to Zach Selsby, as always, being our eyes and ears at training camp since we are not there. He says, looks like another day of practice for John Bates. Curtis Hodges is also back. So that's good that we're starting to get the tight end depth back, man, because we have been missing these guys vividly. So shout out to those guys for coming back. Says Antonio Gibson going through what looks like an obstacle course that Randy Johnson set up this morning. Sled Life plus Amani Rogers and Curtis Hodges rudely cutting through my shot, as Zach Selsby like to say. Wentz is on the money, so that's good. We have some words about Carson Wentz coming up, and obviously Terry McLaurin doing his thing, getting warmed up here. So getting into the notes, as soon as Terry McLaurin made this catch, one of the fans watching said, worth every penny. I would agree, of course. You know that. Terry McLaurin is the best player on this team. Big hole on the right side for Brian Robinson to slip through doing 11 on 11s. Nice block by Cosme on William Bradley King to create the running room. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I love Antonio Gibson to death. He's RB1 still in my books, you know, and I wasn't the biggest fan of Brian Robinson, but it has been some talks about Gibson running on the second team, and as much as I want Gibson to be the running back one, I have to admit that Brian Robinson has been having a strong camp, but Gibson's still running back one as of right now to me, man, and I hope it stays that way. Moving on, Jared Patterson just thumped Steven Parker after a solid game to finish the play, and it's the second time he's gotten to the second level. So my man JP, I'm telling y'all, I'm sorry, I got a little excited right there. But my boy JP, man, he's making this roster, bro. I'm telling you, I ain't going to keep saying it now. I ain't going to keep saying it. We're moving on to the 707s. The running game looked crisp in the last period with the big runs coming from Robinson and Patterson and Gibson. So all the running backs looking good. Dax Milne just made a really nice leap and grab doing 707s. The former 7th-round pick continues to impress me. Again, Dax Milne, I've been saying he's going to make this roster since day one. I've been saying Dax Milne is really, really good. And again, no surprises here. He's having a wonderful camp. Amani Rogers was wide open down the middle of the field and brought in the catch. Really starting to like what I'm seeing from the tight end. So shout out to Amani Rogers making himself a name. It's some low-key guys like Mark and Michelle, Amani Rogers, Curtis Hodges, a few underrated names making a case in training camp. So it's going to be really, really fun to see what this 50-man roster is going to look like, and the preseason coming up this Saturday. Carson Wentz just finished his 7-on-7 reps, going 6 for 6. Saw some really nice passes to Dax Milne and an impressive sideline connection to Terry. I know it's just 7-on-7, but for what it's worth, that is what the most impressed me, the most impressed I've been with the passing game all camp. So, shout out to Carson Wentz, man. Shout out to Carson Wentz. And the reason why I say this is because it's been this notion, been this word going around that dude has been trash in training camp. He's been a little high, inaccurate, wide at times, but what quarterback that's trying to get to a new system, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be perfect. The guy's been trying to learn this system for almost only a month, man. It's like still new. You got Jalen Hurts out there looking bad at times. Daniel Jones. You know, it happens, bro. I'm giving Carson Wentz the benefit of the doubt because I know he's capable of doing what he just did, going 6 for 6. So shout out to Carson Wentz. Punt return update. 3 players catching kicks today. Alex Erickson, McGowan, and Dax Milne. So it looks like John Dawson isn't a part of that group no more, which is no surprising. I think Dax Milne is going to get that punt return / kick return job, though. Carson Wentz doing 2-minute drill, 4 for 6. Fumble recovered by Wentz. Drive ended in a really nice touchdown to Dax Milne. Dax Milne has been all over, man. Again, I'm not going to keep telling y'all. Jared Patterson has been a guy that I've been on the bandwagon with because that's my guy. And Dax Milne at the start of this camp, you know, I've been saying he's going to be that last 6 wide receiver. And a lot of people keep saying Alex Erickson, all that. It's going to be Dax Milne, man. I'm telling you guys. Moving on. That's it for the 2-minute drill period. Ends with an interception by Reeves from Heineke. Shout out to Jeremy Reeves, a guy that's always going to be around because he can be a really, really solid depth piece at the safety position, and he is a really, really good special teams guy. So shout out to Jeremy Reeves. Amani Rogers grabbed the touchdown during a goal line drill. Another impressive grab from the tight end trying to earn the spot. So again, it's going to be fun to see what these guys can do in the training camp because we're not training camp, but preseason because they've been lighting it up in training camp. Amani Rogers Hodges, Curtis Hodges, Dax Milne, all those guys, Jared Patterson. Carson Wentz rolls out and gets into the end zone. Hodges had a really nice block on Fuller to clear the way. So he's not only being really, really good in the passing game, he's being really effective in the run game too. So moving on, Ron Rivera opens up the presser by announcing Sam Mills is no longer a part of the coaching staff. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is it from today's training camp. The more important news, Sam Mills III is no longer the defensive line coach. So let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. As always, being boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hail to Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to follow my social media links down below and cop some Juan Gotti Talking Sports merch. It's being boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hail to Washington Commanders. I'm out. Peace. Cross me one time, that's gonna get you popped. Get you popped, get you dropped. Slide on the one where they get you locked on. I ain't stopping till I get me